You seem to be getting kind of bored. I was too. Let me see. It's a little dark. Will the light come on? Is that a no? Thanks, man. I think I did it. Yeah, I did. All right. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Good meeting you. Bye. How are you, sir? I don't think I finished talking, but the dude was just like, I'm done with him. He started playing with his phone. I was like, I'm boring the guests. Sorry. How are you, sir? I'll try to keep it exciting and light and shit.
I'm doing good. How are you?
Excellent, excellent. Just happy.
Here's my question.
Yes.
I've heard you say that you're first and foremost a writer and then a director. So my question is, will we ever see a movie where you write the script but someone else directs it? And if not, why not? Because I know as a fan, I'd be juiced to see a Christopher Nolan movie based on a Kevin Smith screenplay. And let me add that I think
somewhere Christopher Nolan was just a hit, like, 1,000 people died on some planet. Like, what happened, Chris? He's like, there's a grave disturbance. Somebody said I should pair up with that fucking Southwest Airlines guy. Woo, it'll pass. Woo.
Well, I just think it'd be a tremendous waste of your talent if your written material wasn't allowed to be accessed by other great directors of our time.
You're very sweet, but there's not going to be much more written material. Like, the podcast has kind of eliminated that because there's immediacy to sitting down and recording that's even more immediate than sitting down and writing. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I found that, I used to write a lot more comedy. I think that's kind of why Red State is what it is. I haven't been doing too much written comedy lately because I do it in the podcast. We just speak it and stuff. And all those jokes and all that shit that went into, like, Clerks, Mallrats, Chasing Amy, all that stuff, that exists because I didn't have another outlet for it. I was like, I'll write this stuff into movies. But now I can sit there and kind of write a movie, if you will, every day while sitting there with somebody else just telling jokes. And it's way funnier because I'm bouncing off somebody else. All those movies I wrote by myself. So you're relying on your own wit. But now at a podcast, I can sit down with people funnier than me, people as funny as me and shit, come up with even better things. So for me, I don't think there's going to be like a big drawer of scripts that I'm like, no one will ever see this shit. Like, the fucking Raiders of the Lost Ark back room or something. I think I just won't be writing screenplays that much anymore. So they won't be sitting in a drawer. But if I feel the need to write a screenplay where I'm like, this must be made, I'll totally hand it to somebody else. I'll be like, try it out. Give it to Jason Mewes. Be like, give it a shot.
Thanks.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Yeah, I like your jerseys, man.
What's up, Kevin?
I like your sweaters. How are you?
I got you. Just want to say your jerseys are always awesome. Like, it's fucking badass.
Thank you. Those are the Oilers colors this gentleman was wearing there. It's an Oilers jersey. These are the Oilers colors, and people always ask me, like, why don't you wear Devils colors? And a couple of years ago, I've talked about it here, and I talked about it on the Too Fat for 40 thing. And Too Fat for 40, while I'm thinking about it, going to be released by Shout Factory this couple months from now. So if you haven't seen Too Fat for 40, you can pick that up there. And also they're releasing Smotimations, all those cartoons I was talking about on DVD. I love Shout Factory, so it's kind of cool for me. Anyway, the Too Fat for 40 thing, I talked about Gretzky, my love for Gretzky and shit like that. But these colors for me have been insanely fucking lucky. This is the only colors I'll wear now. I'm real superstitious because I've been on a nice run for a couple of years, and I think it has everything to do with the jersey. As well as what's under the jersey. I've got these shirts, man, these Edmonton Oilers shirts that I got, I guess it was 2-3 years ago when we were playing street hockey up in Brantford, Ontario, Wayne Gretzky's hometown. It was the first week, we'd wrapped the first week of shooting Cop Out, and we went up there and played hockey. And I had asked Malcolm through Sears Canada to pick up some these short sleeve Oilers t-shirts, in fucking 4X, because I couldn't find any around my neck of the woods and shit. So I was like, pick them up and send them to me and whatnot, because I tried to order them to the States and they wouldn't let me order because I wasn't Canadian. I got into a huge fight with Sears Canada. I get in fights with everybody. That's not really fucking, but still, that one was weird because they're so nice, but even I pushed their fucking buttons. They're like, we're done here, sir. Click. So I had to have Malcolm order the shirts for me. So I went up to play the hockey game. First time I've been between the pipes in 15 years. And right before I played, Malcolm, I was at the place where Malcolm put us up, this hotel, and he gave me the box. And he was like, hey, these shirts came for you. And I opened it up, and there's this, simple, very fucking, just blue Edmonton Edmonton Oilers shirt. It's got the logo here. That's it. Just a blue short sleeve shirt. And I put it on, and I fucking killed in goal, man. I hadn't played in 15 years, and I was stopping shit left and right. I was like, oh, there's no way a fat man should be this good in goal. And then I realized I just take up a lot more of the goal now. So, but I was blaming it on the shirt. I said, it's the shirt. It's the 7 shirts of Edmonton. You know, I'm basically building a religion around it. You know, like the Mormons have the golden plates. I have the 7 shirts of Edmonton. And so anytime I jump on a stage, generally speaking, you'll see this shirt under here because it's a lucky shirt for me. Anytime I don't wear this shirt and I try to do something in life on a stage, it's creaky. So maybe it's superstition or whatnot, but I had 7 of them, and I'm down to 5. And here's why, I think. Because I've been telling people about these shirts, and I think my friends have been taking them. Like, I'm pretty sure he's not here to defend himself, but like, I remember being real stoned one night and telling Malcolm about the 7 shirts of Edmonton and shit like that, and he seemed a little too interested, man. My friend Malcolm Ingram, hell of a guy, filmmaker in his own right, gay as the day is long, man. Just a big gay bear of a dude. Fucking looks like me, loves dick. And I told him about my shirts too. I was like, this is going to sound crazy, Malcolm, but I think it has everything to do, everything that we're doing right now, and chasing whimsies and shit like that, and bringing shit to fruition, second stage, second act of the career type of stuff. I was like, it's all predicated on those fucking shirts you got me from Sears, Canada. And, you know, he was just high enough to believe me, you know, where he was just like, probably, I can see the patterns emerging, eh? You know? And so, he's Canadian. And so fucking Malcolm left a few months ago, and one of my shirts has been missing. And I never asked him, but he's the only one that had access to it. And I've noticed that since Malcolm's been missing, his life has been going like this. Like he's starting to see some success and shit. And I think he took one of my fucking Edmonton shirts, one of the 7 shirts of Edmonton. Now I'm okay, I got 5 to work from, but when I drop down to 4, I'm gonna call Malcolm and be like, give me my shirt back. So I don't know, Oilers are a big deal to me, man. These colors have been very good for me. They also make me look thinner, I think.
Okay, so basically my question is for you. We're from Canada. My name's Jesse McCracken. No relation to Buddy, but if you need me, I can be.
Okay.
Can you give us something about Hit Somebody? I'm super excited for this shit. I need to know what the fuck's going down.
Okay. There's a movie I'm going to make. Has nothing to do with comics, but, you know, not everything can. It's called Hit Somebody. It's based on a Warren Zevon song. That Mitch album, the guy that wrote Tuesdays with Morrie, he wrote the lyrics 2 years ago. And it's about a hockey player, a minor league hockey player, who gets his chance to play pro hockey in a WHA type league. The WHA was this kind of a separate league from the NHL, which is the hockey league most cats know across the United States and Canada. And the WHA was kind of a competing league that rose in the 70s, where they were playing like a bit more showy brand of hockey, definitely more fighting and stuff like that. And they were an upstart rebel league kind of thing. And so I love the song, and I kind of, every time I hear the song, I always saw a story in my head, because it's very much a story song, and I saw a movie. So I reached out to, you know, Warren Zevon's passed on, so I reached out as a state, and they pointed me toward Mitch Albom, and Mitch Albom was just like, you want to make a movie of this song? And I said, yeah, I explained it to him. And he said, you just got to do 2 things, and I'll give you the rights. He goes, 1, you can't make fun of hockey. And I was like, I would never do that. He's going, they have a hard enough time getting legitimacy and shit like that. Don't be making these movies with dudes missing teeth and shit. Just treat it honorably. I said, oh my God, I'd kill, I'd die before I'd fucking make fun of hockey. And he said, number 2, shoot it in Detroit. You have to shoot it in Detroit, hockey town. So we're going to be going to shoot Hit Somebody in Detroit. I'm over halfway through the script now. It's a long script. Takes place over the span of 30 years. Follows the main character, Buddy McCracken, from 1950 to 1980, when his career kind of ends. Just as that league is shutting down and kind of the hockey we know today is being born and stuff. So it's you know, people have asked me what it's like, and I say it's kind of like Forrest Gump in hockey to some degree, about a Forrest Gump of Canada, because the movie is very Canadian. It is about hockey, but more so it's about Canada in general. The whole thing plays like kind of Wikipedia of Canada. As you're watching the movie, periodically we explain something, or we introduce a concept, and then we step out and do a narrative tutorial about that concept. It's kind of different than anything I've done before. There's a running narrator. It's kind of like as if it's a book, an omniscient narrator, and I've written it for Alan Rickman, so much so that I wrote his, so much so that I wrote his name into the script. It doesn't say narrator, just every line says Alan Rickman. And I also mean for him to play at one point one of those step-out flashbacks we talk about, or pieces that explain Canadian history or Canadiana. We introduce, of course, Lord Stanley in the Stanley Cup, and that's the role that I want Alan to play in the flashback, to play Lord Stanley, and for his voice to always just narrate the flick. It's wonderful. I love it, of course, because I wrote it and shit. I've published a couple sections online. If you go to silentbobspeaks.com, that's my blog. You can read like 2 big chunks of it. And then I'm hooking up this deal with these other cats in the fall to publish the screenplay online. I'm way about sharing, always have been. I like to tweet from the set, or even before there was Twitter, I like to just kind of post shit on our website. Always taking people behind the curtain and whatnot, because I think it's important to be like, look, anybody could do this. I'm a big fan of that Ratatouille movie, and like the scene where, the fucking chef was like, anyone can cook. The fat guy, I identify with that. I'm like, yeah, anyone can cook. Like, I have a good time doing it. So I always want people to try it out for themselves, and keep bringing people into the process has always been fun for me, because they fuel you. Having people like be interested in something you're about to do or want to do is fantastic for not just the ego, but productivity, because you're like, they expect something, or they're interested. Let's deliver, let's deliver. So this time I'm going to dial it back even further. This is my last flick, right? So I'm like, okay, what can I do to make it even more interactive than before? So I've decided to publish the whole screenplay in advance, before we even shoot a frame, before we raise $1. I know that we'll get money for it. I'm not worried about that. Red State really paved the way for us to get all the money for Hit Somebody. It was just by being smart business people, by showing people like we know how to make our money back like that, it made it easier to get Hit Somebody financed. So at that point, I want to be able to put it online and just interact with the audience about it. You know what I'm saying? Like have them get into it or not get into it, hear their fucking feedback, because I'm still writing it. So I always get their feedback while I'm making the movie or in the test screening process or something. And now I'm like, fuck it, let's dial it back and show them the script, the bones of the script, and see if they got thoughts about that as well. Not so much like, tell me what to write, but you love reading people's feedback, good or bad. It kind of puts you in a good place. So I felt like that's what I'm going to do, and we're going to do that in the fall. Publish it online so everybody can kind of read it. And for me, it'll be fun. I'll put up like who I think is going to play who, so you'll be able to read it as well with people in mind and whatnot. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be a real family affair. Hit Somebody. The movie itself, when we shoot it, and hopefully we'll shoot it, if not the end of this year, or probably not the end of this year, probably the beginning of next year is what we're looking at. I want to use people that I've cast in all of my flicks, everything I've done. So everyone I've ever worked with, if I can get them to come back, you're going to see pop up in the flick, because it's rife with cameo material. You follow a dude over 30 years through a bunch of different teams and leagues. That gives you a big world to populate, and so I can put all the people that I've put in the other movies into it. So that's going to be real kind of fun, man, to be able to kick back and be like, there's Jeff Anderson next to John Goodman. So that'll be fun for me at least. But it's coming, and it's the one that to go out on, because it's one that's really autobiographical. The song is about a hockey player who loves hockey with all his heart. He's just no damn good at it. And so for me, that's kind of the way I've always felt about like filmmaking and stuff. Love it with all my heart, just no damn good at it and stuff. So I'm going to use the movie to kind of tell that story, kind of the story of independent film to some degree as well, because the WHA, or at least my version of the WHA in the movie, is very similar to the indie film movement in the 90s and stuff like that. So it'll be fun. For me as an artist, maybe the audience will fucking hate it. I know Canadians will love it. But for me it'll be fucking fun, because it'll really will sum everything up. And it'll take years to find every Easter egg. Like as I write it, I throw shit in all the time where I'm like, oh my god, this ties into this ties into that. And not like ties into the View Askew universe, but it's a real diary pick. Like there's references, names, people, everything that has shaped me, my life, my career over the last 20 years, I want to put into it. It's kind of like a big Muppet movie version of my life to some degree. So it's gonna, I hope it'll be fun. It's always dangerous when a filmmaker's like, this is my dream project, because it always winds up being something else. Like Barry Levinson's big dream project at one point was Toys. Ridley Scott's big dream project was Legend, and they came out and nobody gave a shit. So it's always dangerous when you're like, these are my dream projects, but you always got to remember it doesn't matter. Later on, somebody will catch up for it. The audience will always find it sooner or later, man. You just have to be kind of patient, not want everything at once. And sooner or later, they'll find it. So it's somebody they won't find for a little while until I'm done writing it. I'm going to take my time with it. People have been going like, when are you going to finish? I'm like, this is my last movie. I'm going to finish when I fucking finish. Back off. So it'll be soon, but it's good. You can follow along on Silent Bob Speaks for now. You'll be able to check it out.